My 23M girlfriend, 26F, and I have been together for a bit more than 3 years. We met shortly after I moved into town and have been with each other since. We've lived together for about 2 years now and everything is mostly great. However, we come from very different families and cultures. For context, I'm South American and come from a very strict household, and my relationship with my parents has always been difficult. She comes from a long line of single mothers who are very hardworking and independent. This has led her to be somewhat stubborn and she has a lot of anxiety about being good enough, and doesn't react well at all when life doesn't go as she wants. Somewhat big reactions, anxiety and self-hatred even for small things. She goes to therapy and is doing better very slowly. The problem started about 2 years ago, when we decided to visit my home country together to see the sights and meet my family. I had met her family many times, and got along with them perfectly well, even though her mother is always making fun of me. When we got home for the first time together, the reaction from my parents was a bit cold, even though they knew she was coming and told me they were happy about it. They didn't seem to be content with the idea at all. She, on the other hand, didn't seem very happy with the activities we were doing. I can understand she was annoyed because she bought her own ticket and it was very expensive. She loves hiking, it's the only thing she talks about, but my family doesn't. So when we went sightseeing, we took the bus. My parents are old, which made her very mad. On top of that, she was very unhappy with the sleeping arrangements. My parents wanted us to sleep on separate beds, because they were worried about setting a bad example for my 2 brothers, one 8M, one 3M. We found this very annoying, but the kicker came later on when we went on a trip to a different part of the country, and had to stay in an Airbnb my mother rented, where she would have to sleep in a room with my sister, one 8F, even though I had told my mother well in advance that she wasn't comfortable sleeping with other people. Somewhat understandably, she threw a tantrum, and I confronted my parents about it. I told them that it was not okay to do such things, and that we would be staying in a separate hotel, but that we would meet them on the morning to continue the trip. My father was fuming, and basically cut me off, stopped paying for my college tuition, and told me that he wouldn't give me any financial help anymore, and that we weren't allowed back home with him. My mother disagreed, but didn't stand up for me, and just told him to calm down. Understandably, I was hurt at their reaction, but I was not surprised, since he has done stuff like this before. My girlfriend was very mad, and didn't understand how someone could do that to their own son. I was unemployed at the time, and had to abandon my studies to be able to work, because of visa. We have met my mother a few times since then, and she has always been very caring to her, but she still doesn't stand her because she says she's too submissive and should have done something back then. My relationship with my parents has improved since then, but of course, you can only go so far. The problem is, it's been 2 years, and I really want my girlfriend and my family. I have smaller brothers in my life. However, my girlfriend refuses to go anywhere near them, even though things have been alright the last times we saw them. She doesn't even talk to them. She is not good at talking to people she doesn't know, not even with my brothers, and goes to long lengths to try to avoid being in the same room as any of them. Finally, she texted me yesterday telling me that she will not meet my family never again, and that I shouldn't try to change her. I told her she should try to be more open to people in general, and that she hates herself when she needs to pretend that everything is okay when it's not. She and her family are somewhat of social bohemes, and seem popular culture and politeness as stupid. My question is, we have tickets already bow to go visit their city. She says that she wants to go, but she won't meet them. My grandma has an empty house, where we will stay, and I know they will ask me about her, and I'll have to tell them that she hates them, which will of course, will not make them very happy, and I doubt that they will realize that it's their fault. So, how do I diffuse tension between her and my family? How do I tell my parents that she doesn't want to see them anymore in a way that they will comprehend? And how can I show to her that it's important to me that she meets my brothers and sister? TLDR, my girlfriend doesn't want to see my family after they threw us out when we went to visit and they disowned me. How do I make this better?